And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you become a champion. 48-7 from a capacity crowd at Mombella Stadium in Nelspruit, or a.k.a. Mombella. What can we say? What can we say that, I'm kind of at a loss for words. You kind of see my eyes, they're a little bit blown out. I was crying a bit at the end, obviously, with the speech with Eben and Victor Matfield, Eben becoming our most capped Springbok in history. So let's go ahead and go through these notes. First thing I want to mention is how we had no feed here in North America until the 3rd minute of this game. None whatsoever. No feed whatsoever. I'm recording this from my phone because I don't want to deal with my laptop, but we didn't have any feed, so I didn't get to see the pregame. I had to see all of that online afterwards. 7th minute in, Fossey, after a scrum and another advantage, there's countless advantages deep in Puma territory. He does cross, and what do you know? Hendrickse, the kick, and he does convert 7-0 after 7 minutes. 6 minutes later, Peter Steftoy, after a line out, and it was repeated phases, we're in deep, he jumps over. I don't know if that one, it did come to stand, but I think there was a bit of controversy around that. Hendrickse does convert. It's 14-0, 13 minutes in. And it's kind of starting out like it did last week in Argentina. 18th minute, an advantage from the Pumas, advantage on the Pumas, and Albertos does cross. He does convert, and it's 14-7 at the 18th minute. And that was all she wrote for Argentina as far as offense in this game. 21st minute, penalty on Grondona for advancing, and Hendrickse elects to kick. It is 17-7 after 21 minutes. 25th minute, Fossey gets on a deep run, and he runs into Chukwueze, and Chukwueze twists his knee automatically down on the ground in pain. He does come off, but you kind of worry about those kind of knee injuries on those bigger guys sometimes. Couple of minutes after that, Fossey is up in the air trying to get a kick. Mateo Carreras, it's obvious. It's air contact. He does get a yellow card. It does remain a yellow, but it was Albertos had kicked it up. Fossey goes to get it. Carreras, it just takes him out in the air. It does remain a yellow card. 32nd minute, Fossey with the second try on the match so far on the day. It was great runs. It was Colby, Alendi. He gets it. Hendrickse off the left post, so he's 3 or 4 kicking on the day, and it is 22-7. 5 minutes later, once again, that back line of Colby, Fossey, Creel, Alendi, it worked really, really well to get. After 7 phases, Colby, from Fossey this time, crosses, and Hendrickse is off to the left. He's 3 of 5 on the day, and it's 27-7, and that's what we go into at the Sheds, 27-7 at halftime. 44th minute, not releasing on the Pumas. Penalty. Hendrickse elects to kick for penalty. It is off to the left. He's 3 of 6 on the day, and it's 27-7. And then we get kind of to this lull period in the game. And then at one point, we go into a ruck, and Matera just comes straight in with the shoulder, straight into Vincent Koch, hits him directly in the head. Koch goes down in pain immediately. Pablo Matera kind of whatever. It is a yellow card. It does go into the bunker at the 55th minute, and we find out 7 minutes later. Yeah, it's a red card. He's done. He's done for the day. Chukwueze was who took his place in the scrum there. Santiago Carreras gets a yellow card at the 67th minute for an intentional knock-on. At this point, it's just all Boks firing the entire time. After a line-out, Elriglo brings down a line-out after the penalty, and the magician Malcolm Marks crosses over at the 68th minute. Pollard has come into the game at this point. He's 1-1 on the day. It's 34-7. The route was already on at this point. 2 minutes later, Lucanio makes a really good break deep. He chips it off, or he gets it to Fossey. Fossey chips it to Kurt Lee, who chases it down. He lands on the ball. They go to the TMO, and it's pretty obvious he never really had control of the ball. The ball went under his chest area, on his torso. He had his arms like that. He never really put the ball down. So they do disallow the try, which I felt like was the correct call there by the TMO. 2 minutes later, Kurt Lea runs on a deep run. He offloads it to Peter Steph-Totoy, his second of the day at the 72nd minute. Pollard, cold as ice, 2-2 kicking on the day so far. 76th minute, a balk advantage for an offside. Pollard chips it to Creel. He gets it across. Pollard 3-3 on kicking for the day. 48-7 is the score. And the game basically ends with a fight. Deep inside the Springbok end. And for anybody that's watching, of course, the first thing we're going is, where's Eben? Where's Eben? Where's Eben in all of this? Eben was in the back trying to break the fight up. The fight was predominantly Peter Steph-Totoy, Ulrich Lowe. And I kind of had talked to my buddy Shane and kind of said, man, the student has become the teacher. Eben is kind of the back here. And obviously, we saw the post-game Peter Steph-Totoy man of the match. I'm actually going to give it to Fossey as man of the match. But we did see the ceremony where you had Victor Matfield and Eben Etzebeth. He gives him his cap as the most capped Springbok in history. And I've got to commend Victor for when the camera was on Eben, he kind of stepped out of frame. He let it be Eben's moment. And we've all watched Eben Etzebeth grow up. I mean, I remember his debut. He has one less win than Victor at this point. One less win and one less try. But then the commentator asks, hey, do we have plenty more to come? And he's like, yeah, as long as I stay fit and they keep selecting me. What a humble answer for somebody at that point. Kind of along with the fight kind of thing. Like, we've watched Eben mature. I mean, he was never immature to begin with, but we've watched him mature into a leader. Eben is a leader on this team, and we see the difference in the team when he's on the pitch and when he's not on the pitch. Kind of the same thing with Sia Khaleesi and Peter Steph-Totoy. There's guys that we see the difference when they're on the field and when they're not on the field. Eben is our most capped Springbok, and he deserves every single bit of that. And I know he's not even close to being done yet. Now, there's the debate, will he pass certain people else in the world? I'm not even going to speculate on that. He's our most capped Springbok. That's what he is right now. Some other things I wanted to mention was, with Manny Libok not kicking, didn't we all notice the difference? His chip kicks were crisp. Right into the hands of Cheslin Colby, right into the hands of Kurt Lee, right into the hands of Krill. When Manny Libok doesn't have to worry about conversions, his imagination and his creativity is just allowed to just bloom. If this is what we've got to do, this is what we've got to do. I'm not mad at Hendrickse for being 3-6 kicking on the day. Not mad at all, because he's not typically a kicker. But if this is what we have to do to keep Manny Libok, because honestly, his flow, his distribution, his chip kicking, it's all top level, man. It's all top level. You can't deny the kid's ability to do what he does. And if he doesn't have to worry about kicking conversions or penalties, why not? Let that flow. Let the creativity. Let the distribution. The back three today was absolutely amazing, but it helped that we had a firing forward pack, dominant scrummaging, great at lineouts. We did great. All cylinders were on fire today. Oxen Che, and a hell of a game from Oxen Che. This is what happens when everything works right. And this isn't even our best team. We don't have Damian Falanza. We don't have Franco Mostert. We don't have Ahi Steinman. And we did great. Absolutely amazing game. Ruan Nortia, everybody did their job today. And we saw the end result with the pitch. So, obviously, we've got a little bit of a break, guys. We'll have the end of the year tour. But this is how you do it. World Cup, Mandela Plate, Freedom Cup, Rugby Championship. I wish we'd finished it undefeated, but we didn't. We got the win in Mobella, and we won the Rugby Championship. So hopefully, we continue to build on this. This Northern Tour is very fruitful for us. We can see some new guys. But until then, man, I'm just going to enjoy this championship like I always do. Cheers, guys.